Good morning and welcome to the 445 Productive Through Joy show with your host and your boy, Dr. Michael Datcher. Been under the weather, but I am over the weather. We air each weekday morning here on YouTube's Michael Datcher channel at 4:45 a.m. And go until 5 a.m. Then at 4:45 p.m. different show, same different topic, same powerful show at 4:45 p.m. We are a show aimed at entrepreneurs, those who have their own business, those who like to own their own business, and those who simply want to live in abundance like a boss. Today, we're talking about breathing and productivity. What is the connection between breathing and productivity here this morning? So you can go to productivethroughjoy.com, see what we do. We speak to groups and organizations about being productive through joy. Schools, of course, as well. We also offer live one-on-one productive through joy consulting. Holler at us. So you can please push the subscriber button now here on YouTube's Michael Datcher channel. Subscribe and get these videos for free. I did say free. 1, 2, 3, 4, free. They all are free. And thanks for being here. Today we're talking about breathing and productivity. What is the connection between breathing and productivity? Let's dive right into the topic. But for those who are new, let me say a few words about myself. This is your host and your boy, Dr. Michael Datcher. I'm the author of the New York Times bestseller, Raising Fences, which was a Today Show book of the month pick. That book's film rights were optioned by the actor Will Smith, whose people called my people. And I eventually agreed to write the screenplay for that particular project. I'm also the author of the acclaimed historical novel Americas, which is set 13 miles from Ferguson. That book, in fact, is being published in America for the first time. It was published in Germany originally. So the American version is coming out in April, so look for that in bookstores everywhere. Published on iconic Third World Press with Hakeem Mahboudi's famous press. I'm also my educational background is UC Berkeley as an undergraduate. My master's is from UCLA, and my PhD in English literature is from the University of California at Riverside. I'm currently a professor of English literature at Loyola Marymount University here in California. I'm an expert at being productive, all right? I don't say that to brag or boast. I say it because people are oftentimes surprised at my level of productivity given how crazy my own personal narrative is. I'm the product of a young girl who was raped at 16, gave birth to me at 17, and subsequently gave me up for adoption to a wonderful single divorcee. Yet at the time, no biological father, no adopted father. Listen, difficult times for the young MD. Yet, as Kool Modi famously said, how you like me now. And if I can be this productive through joy, so can many of us who are watching the show. In many ways, that inspires our show, this business, because we know what it's like to come from hardship. And people like us oftentimes have a great built-in excuse as to why we cannot ball. We think we will not ball, but we're here to say yes, despite our circumstances and or origins, we have the capacity to do the miraculous. All right, so thanks for being here. Again, today we're talking about breathing and productivity. What is the connection between breathing and productivity? And we will tap into that topic in just a matter of moments. On the morning show, we'd like to also dive into the ideal of framing our day before our day has a chance to frame us. At times we wake up with trouble on our mind, and that trouble has a way of getting us off track, creating stress in our lives. And so for those who are looking to live in abundance, live outside the box, maybe own their own business, you are going to encounter more stress because you're living a non-traditional life in many ways. And so we help people to deal with that stress by, again, framing your day before your day has a chance to frame you. And we discuss that in the context of a ritual. Ritual can be defined as doing the same thing at around the same time. It's best seen through example. And so we help people organize their day, their mornings in particular, as a way to lean into a renewable source of energy. Let me give you my morning ritual to serve as an exemplar. And so in the mornings I wake up at 3:45 a.m. I read a couple of spiritual business books. I do our show at 4:45 a.m. right now here at YouTube's Michael Datcher's channels, the 4:45 Productive Through Joy show until 5. At 5 I work on my current book until sunrise here in Los Angeles, which is around 5, 6:30, 6:15 now. And then I walk out to the beach. I live here along the coast in Venice Beach, California. I walk out, I bring my drum, I meditate, I pray, I do yoga, and come back, work on my book for a while longer. Then I go back to the beach to run up the coast all the way past Santa Monica's Pier, and then come all the way back here to Venice to get my workout on in my gym at Code's Gym. And so by 9:30, guys, I'm feeling amazing. My body is being flooded with endorphins, and that endorphin release gives me a sense of euphoria that I can then leverage to move myself towards my goals and objectives. Now, we're not saying do what I do. We're saying do what you do. We help individuals to craft a morning chant, a morning ritual rather, to get that done. And so I'm reading two great books now as part of my as part of my morning reading. That first book was The Nag Hammadi Reader, it's a book of ancient scriptures. I'm also reading a book by Carl Lance, Owning the Moment, which is a book about owning the moment. So from those two books, I extract some wisdom called the morning chant. So today's morning chant is: as a meditating natural mystic, I thirst to breathe with God and hunger to transform moments into opportunities. I take that idea, I contemplate that, I place it on my phone when I'm walking through campus doing my thing. I'll pop it out from time to time, and also I'll contemplate it. I also create the morning and afternoon shows based upon that concept. So today we're talking about breathing and productivity. What is the connection between breathing, which sounds somewhat innocuous but is actually very powerful, and productivity? So again, if you're enjoying the show, please swipe left or right across your device to share this information on your social media networks. Let's dive in. So today we're talking about breathing and productivity, and point one is that you want to be conscious of your breathing, which may seem a little weird because we breathe. That's an automatic function until you stop, which is not so good. Um, and so, but you want to be conscious of it, like you're almost rising above yourself, being conscious of your breathing. And that takes a practice, which is why yoga and meditation are so effective at that, which goes right into point two. You can become conscious of your breathing by taking meditation, taking yoga classes. We help people to deal with that in a much more concrete way. And so point two is that once you become conscious of your breathing, you want to be in the practice of breathing more deeply. Because when you breathe more deeply, you connect yourself to the inner part of yourself, the primordial self, the energetic part, the first thing itself, the thing itself, as many world religions believe that in the beginning there, which is a God, spirit, energy. And that energy is everywhere still today because it cannot be created or destroyed. It just changes forms. So that original thing is still in everyone, still inside of me, still inside of you, still inside of you as well. And when you breathe deeply, you can connect to that primordial thing. That's the whole belief system approach that the ancient Egyptians used, that knowing thyself was knowing the God inside of yourself through meditation and through yoga and other modalities as well. So whatever your belief system is, it is true that the thing itself is inside of you. And meditating, breathing deeply is the way to tap into it, which goes into point three. As you tap into that primordial thing, when you know yourself more, you're going to be a representation of your most authentic self, and that's critical in business and being an entrepreneur, but also just in terms of living in abundance, attracting people who you want to work with and engage in abundance with, including a life partner, because people are drawn to authenticity. When you tap into your most original self, you're tapping into your most authentic self, and that's the opposite of fake ass people. Who just loves fake ass people? Just raise your hand out in Facebook land or YouTube land. No one, right? The opposite of authenticity is being fake, and people do not like fakeness. But when you are authentic, you're going to attract people to your life who are going to make your life richer in so many ways. Boom, goes the dynamite. That's it for today's show. We air each weekday morning, hella early at 4:45 a.m. and go until 5 a.m. here on YouTube's Michael Datcher channel, then 4:45 p.m. until 5 p.m. on Facebook. Please push that subscriber button here on YouTube, Michael Datcher channel, and also go to productivethroughjoy.com. Have me come out, speak to your group or organization, or take advantage of our one-on-one Productive Through Joy consulting. Definitely share these videos on your social media networks. Thanks for being here. We'll see you this afternoon at 4:45 p.m. Until then, let's talk about it and be about it. Deuces.